Right, ladies and gents, so I covered a story yesterday which was, Marvel basically up in flames. Blade, reboot, lost its director, changed writers, and now we've got even more information. We had possible rumours that there was only going to be 2 action sequences. Ridiculous. We now hear that one of the Moon Knight writers is rumoured to be overhauling this complete script. Even Mahershala Ali is said to be frustrated. And I said in that video, look, Marvel's not the powerhouse it once was. People do jump ship. And I got some flack for it. I stand by what I said. I think if you stepped outside of, maybe that sort of blinkered view of Marvel, and just assessed the directors as they come and go, there's actually been a fair few of them. And this story details that we're going to get into here, as well as Beau DeMayo and his their writing credits to date, we'll see whether this is going to be good or bad. So, strap in, ladies and gents. Strap in. Because apparently this was going to have a period setting. It was going to jump through the ages. Now, take this with a massive pinch of salt. But it does sound like the type of thing that Marvel would be doing. So, Blade is obviously undergoing major changes. Okay, we don't know. It's unlikely to be released next November. Let's just say that from the off. Allegedly, they only had 90-page script. That's terrible. That's real bad. But when we do the movie, may be vastly different to the version Bassam Tariq had planned, the outgoing director who left. Though the Illuminati has now shared some plot details about what might have been and what might still be. And this is the thing. This has been rewritten, and now it's going through another stage of rewrites. Presumably completely, changing the script overall, but it may be off the same base pitch. So if that's the case, some of these things will still stand. But according to the Illuminati, Blade was going to be primarily set in the 1920s. And check this out, which I think is absolutely on point for timing-wise, and I can believe this. Blade was going to square off against European vampires. Now, what does that say to me? Because very, I guess, American-centric worldview, I would imagine that's them dirty colonizers and Blade. That's genuinely what I can believe. Now, I know loads of people will be like, well, why are you seeing race and all that kind of in this? The reason why is I don't give Marvel writers undue credit. Hollywood writers overhaul are incredibly predictable, they are incredibly stupid, and they're really bad. The writers of the past are gone. We don't have good writers anymore. Okay, they're literally straight out of college, and they're straight in there without any worldview at all. So they are awful at what they do. So hearing that Blade would be, set in the 1920s and squaring off against European vampires, unequivocally I believe that there would be an element of that in there. Why? Well, Hollywood's literally just released the film glorifying Dahomey, what is now Benin. Oh, what was that? Yeah, the essential part of the slave trade. Slave capital, essentially, of Africa. Selling off black people. But this movie glorifies them as the good guys. So yes, all those naysayers to what I'm saying, just hold on. Give it a second, because I think I've got something there. But anyway, they say it sounds like the action was going to jump to multiple periods, potentially meaning the story would follow him into the present day. But that was apparently only 2 action pieces in this entire script. So if any luck, that would mean we'd catch up with Blade during the events of the Eternals and finally find out why he decided to confront Dane Whitman, before he could wield the Ebony Blade. Unlikely. But the period setting itself, sounds like Marvel Studios was planning to stick to the source material. Despite what we saw in Wesley Snipes-led movies, Eric Cross Brooks was born in a London brothel in 1929, and when there were complications with his birth, the doctor was called. Now that is true, but I can't imagine Marvel's going to do that. I could be wrong, but maybe. I just can't imagine it. And again, I know that is the origin, but I can't imagine it. Unfortunately, the Doctor was vampire Deacon Frost, and his feeding on Eric's mother changed the child's DNA, creating a human-vampire hybrid. Eric was raised in that brothel and taught how to fight vampires. by Jamal Afari, a jazz musician. All of this is great. Like, if they do this, I'm game. Like, why not? Given a skill with a knife, he earned the nickname Blade and travelled across Europe in a quest to destroy all bloodsuckers. But I just don't give him the credit for that. I really don't. Now that means the Blade we meet in present day would be a veteran vampire hunter and someone who more than likely crossed paths with the previous wielder of the Ebony Blade. This could also mean his feud with Dracula plays out over the years, ultimately leading to the Daywalker assembling a team. The Midnight Suns perhaps, maybe. But anyway, him fighting European vampires now through the Hollywood lens. Literally anything European is dirty, horrible colonizer. So let's just rein that back in. I would imagine that's probably where they're going to go with it. But wait, there's more. So Moon Knight and X-Men 97 writer Beau DeMayo is rumoured to be overhauling Blade's screenplay. Because apparently it's terrible. It's awful, in fact. Really bad. So earlier this week we learned that Blade director Bassam Tariq had left. And then we learn that apparently Mahershala Ali is said to have grown frustrated with the process. And apparently Kevin Feige is just spread too thin. 90 pages and 2 lackluster, is the word to describe it, action sequences. Lackluster action sequences. 2 action sequences in a 90-page script. Like, what the fuck are you doing? It's Blade, for goodness sake. And is this their effort just to tone it down? Maybe. So whether this is accurate or not, it sounds like Stacey O.C. Kafur's script needs some work. Now, the director's reporting that Beau DeMayo is currently hard at work overhauling Blade for Marvel. So who is Beau DeMayo? Well, it doesn't inspire confidence, just as an FYI. It really doesn't. So, After the Storm, writer, it's a short. The originals, fine, whatever. No, I literally am not aware of that at all. League of Legends, not aware of those things. The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf screenplay. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Then he did 2 episodes of the Witcher TV series. You know what? Can't remember those ones. 2019 and 2021. His most recent stuff, Moon Knight. I didn't hate it, and he might have been hamstrung by Marvel, but he's still working with Marvel on this, so Marvel will hamstring him on this as well. And Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. I'm not going to say that that's remotely good because that's terrible. Let's be honest there. That's not something to sell us, his work. So there you have it, ladies and gents. I don't think this is good. I still think I stand by my video title on the last one, Up in Flames. Yes, it is.